Hey YouTube, thank you so much for tuning in to this story time. This segment is going to be based on a story time that was told to me because my friend don't feel comfortable, you know, sharing her story publicly. So she gave me permission to tell this story. But before we get into this story, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. So, my friend, she has the same eye condition that I have, okay? And that is retinitis pigmentosa. Now, with retinitis pigmentosa, it comes in different forms. It could be like mine, where you have tunnel vision. It can be where you only have like your peripheral and you can't see through the middle. And then sometimes it can affect the peripheral and your central vision. Okay. I didn't find out about my condition until later on in life. She knew that she had retinitis pigmentosa since she was 12 years old. So she was a normal child, which she tried to be normal, as she could. Her vision wasn't that bad when she was in elementary and going into middle school. She was able to still see some and read large print books. But just imagine being a kid and you are told that you are going blind while everybody else is looking at small print and can sit at the back of the class. You couldn't do that. You have to get these huge books that's in large print and sit in front of the class so you can see. So she was adjusting to going blind and was still trying to mix in with her peers. So later on in life, she was able to graduate high school and she started working. Now they have these services that is called Division of Blind Services that help you to learn adapting techniques and coping mechanisms. As for like O&M training, that's white cane travel. Like her at the time, she still has some sight left. So like say she had started working at a fast food restaurant. And I think it was like Taco Bell or Churches or something like that. And she had started, they had her on the register. And she had started giving people the wrong change and stuff because her vision had started to decline at that point. And she couldn't make out the money anymore. So they had gave her a money reader. They have money readers for the blind as well, y'all, if y'all didn't know. So in the midst of her adjusting to her blindness, of course, she's a young woman. Now she has graduated high school and she was dating. Now, I'm not going to say everybody, but some people tend to feel less attractive and be vulnerable when they have a certain type of disability. They think that nobody will want them. So sometimes people do settle. So she was the complete opposite though. She's a very attractive woman and guys always try to talk to her. Later on, she will find out this is what I'm just to get into. So she has started dating. She has started meeting a lot of guys because she worked at the fast food restaurant. So she would talk and she would socialize and she would give her number out. And it was one Pacific dude that she had clicked with. At first, it would be just casual dates. She wouldn't let him come over because she had also got her own apartment at this time. So it would be casual dates and they would go on dates to the movies or out to eat. Did she tell him at the beginning about, I don't think she told him at the beginning about her vision and that she was going blind. But later on, as the relationship she thought had got serious, he kind of figured it out anyway, because it's something that you can't hide. So that's when things change. And it's crazy because when you tell people about your vision or you're going blind, you would think they will be more caring and more nurturing. But that's when you find out who is the sheep in wolf's clothing. And that's when things got real with her. So one day, she finally invited him over to her apartment because she was already kind of leery because, of her situation. So he started coming over to her apartment. They start vibing, they start chilling. They in a full-blown relationship at this time. They already was having, they was already doing a Humpty dance and everything. Well, one day, he asked could his homeboy come over there, and chill with him. They was drinking. She was young, y'all. They was drinking, they was chilling, they was watching movies and so forth, So the homeboy came over with him one day and they just over there, they vibing. I think she cooked, they over there drinking, they smoking, they zah, and they gained all words her. What hurted her the most was because she was in a relationship with the guy. Well, she thought she was in a relationship with him. As the relationship progressed, it was red flags. But when you young, sometimes you don't pick up on the red flags that he wasn't really just into her, but she was the type of person, she had started opening up to him about her vulnerabilities when it came to her vision and how she felt. And, things that you do when you're in a relationship. Well, he used all this against her. And later on, it would come out once they got caught. Because once they gained or word her, she did report it to the officials. And they both got arrested. Now, I feel bad for her, but I also know that she was young at the time, and sometimes through life experiences, that's how you learn what not to say or what to do as you get older. Is it her fault they did that to her? No. That was on them, taking advantage of her because of her situation. So, right now she's in counseling. And even though this has been a decade, 2 decades ago for her, it still bothers her. So after they gained or word her, they went to jail and she tried to pick up the missing pieces of her life. She became very promiscuous. And she just started she kind of basically just gave up. So she started dating and talking and having random Humpty dance partners, and she just really didn't care no more. That had made her self-esteem go down, and she just was spiraling. So she was just meeting guys and she was Humpty dancing with them and so forth. It took for her to have multiple R words happen to her and the counseling for her that she needed so she can heal. It did something to her on the inside when she had gave her heart and her soul to the man that she thought that she potentially would have kids by one day. And him and his homeboy came and they R-worded her. So I could see her spiraling out of control. After she became promiscuous, when they did that to her and she started going to counseling, she became very shy. She started covering up her body, wearing long sleeves. She let herself go a little bit. She gained a whole bunch of weight. She became bulimic. She started just losing herself. She was still going to counseling too, though. But after a while, she just gave up on everything. Eating was how she was coping. She stopped going to counseling. She was eating. That's how she was coping. She was covering up herself. That's how she was coping. She was staying in a house. That's how she was coping. Once she met a particular group of friends that she had met from the National Federation of the Blind, she met a whole bunch of different women and men that was just like her, that was going blind just like her. She started going to counseling again. She started hanging with her peers again. When you blind and you in these different type of federations, y'all share and y'all swap stories and y'all uplift each other. This day, this young lady has shedded all of the pounds. She don't cover herself up as much anymore. She's a new woman. She is healing. So this is why she wanted me to share her story, because she wants you to know if something like this has ever happened to you, you are not alone and you will get through it. If you are blind and you have went through something similar as like this, or you are going through something, reach out to your locals. They may have a local NFB group. They may have other little organizations that help people with disabilities. These things help. Maybe you can go to counseling. Maybe you can go to therapy. These things help. But I want you to know you are not alone. And, excuse me, you guys, and you can get through this. So if you want to hear more story times like this, go ahead and put it in the description below. And I want to tell you, girl, if you're watching this, I appreciate you for letting me be your voice to speak to the people, to let them know that life is not over when you are blind, and that life is not over when things happen to you, traumatic things happen to you, that you still can bounce back. So this is your favorite blind auntie again. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to leave your comments down below.